But first tonight, investigators are releasing new details after police say a baby was kidnapped at gunpoint over the weekend.
The one-year-old was later found and reunited with his parents. His accused kidnappers made their first court appearance today. As Chamblee Police announced, the couple attempted to kidnap another child over the weekend. Joe Hankey is live in Chamblee tonight, where police shared some more information, Joe, during a press conference.
Well, that's right, Aisha and Cheryl. One-year-old Mateo and his family were at that press conference behind me at police headquarters today, where police said that this abduction was by strangers. It is a rare type of kidnapping, which makes it the best case scenario that Mateo was returned to his family in only a matter of hours uninjured. At a press conference this afternoon, one-year-old Mateo Montufar Barrera played at the toy police car without a care in the world. 48 hours ago, he was rescued 60-plus miles from his home after being kidnapped.
Most of the people that you see in here are parents, so it becomes personal.
Chamblee Chief of Police Kerry Thomas says when the toddler was reported missing around 12:30 Saturday along Clairview Drive in Chamblee, it became the police department's mission to find him.
We understand that results like this usually does not happen.
The young boy in his stroller being pushed by his mother Saturday near their home when, according to Chamblee Police, a man and woman the family does not know approached them. The man pulled a gun and grabbed Mateo. His mother fought back.
She took his gun and tried to shoot him with it. She tore his shorts and kept his shoe. She showed us a mother's love in action.
Chamblee PD, GSP, GBI, FBI, and several other agencies all quickly collaborated. And less than 4 hours later, the suspect's SUV was tracked to Carrollton, found leaving a home, and in this dash camera video, Chamblee Police arrested 2 suspects. Maynard Dario Valera Zuniga and Kristen Nicole Valera Zuniga. Both are now in the DeKalb County Jail, and after appearing in court today, are being held without bond. In court, attorneys said the couple is married and raising a 6-year-old together. Chamblee Police today announced the couple not only kidnapped Mateo Saturday, but 15 minutes earlier tried to kidnap a different child nearby at gunpoint. That mother ran away with her child. Police have yet to identify her, but do want to talk with her.
So we're asking for people that might have heard a story of a woman carrying a baby in a blanket on her back being chased to call the Chamblee Police Department.
And Chamblee's Assistant Chief of Police there says he drove Mateo back himself from Carrollton to his family in Chamblee on Saturday, and Mateo slept the entire way. As far as a motive here in this case, police today said it appears that the couple intended to raise the one-year-old as their own child. The boy's family now asking for privacy. They said they are thankful that everything ended the way it did, but they're now trying to get back to a normal life. We'll send it back to you in studio.